For soundproofing, now I know it's all over. We were the first ones to get it though. We had a lot of help. But first of all, my name is Ray Jagielski, and I've been a judge here in Cook County through the graciousness of the electorate of Cook County since 1992. It's 22 years if you're counting plus. And I've been out all over this county. Currently in 2007, I left downtown and I was reassigned out to the Bridgeview Courthouse. And in 2011, I became what's called a presiding judge. I'm in charge of 25 judges out there. Where is Bridgeview? Approximately 102nd and 76th Avenue, excuse me. What type of cases do we hear? Everything. We have everything there. Recently, you might have heard of the Kustak murder case where the gentleman killed his wife. They have two famous children who were involved in sports, etc. In addition to that, you might have heard of the Wilson case. The Wilson case was where a young girl from Lyons Township was on a tennis team. Because it was raining early, she got to come home instead of being at tennis practice. Well, when she came home, there was a perpetrator in the house. Took his skull cap off and took one of the landscaping bricks and broke the window. Well, he raped and murdered her, and he also was conscientious enough to make sure he took the cell phone with him. And I've learned a whole bunch of information about these wonderful inventions called smartphones, and they are smart, let me tell you. From the information gathered from that smartphone, the police were able to identify this perpetrator for the next 72 hours within 3 feet of every phone call he made, including the text that he made to to the victim's mother about how much he enjoyed doing what he did to her daughter, etc. I had the unfortunate duty of presiding over 9 different motions that the gentleman presented to try to get a different representation. At first he had a lawyer, that lawyer dropped out, and he wanted to represent himself. And I could tell in the parents' eyes, they were wondering, why is this happening? Why is this occurring, right? Why? We know it's happening. We all know. We have a system here in America, and having traveled around a year ago, I got to be part of a delegation that went to Poland. And we were able to develop a communication between us, and recently a delegation came back over here to America. We met with the Supreme Court regarding divisions of property. Polish Americans, non-resident citizens of America who came from Poland, had a business, now they get divorced, they have property over there. Part of the divorce decree may be, well, I'll give this property in Poland. Well, there's a whole bunch of problems that have cropped up, and Poland now leaving the communist Iron Curtain. What are we doing? How are we doing it? And we're hoping to develop a better system. And I'm very proud to have that opportunity to be a part of that trip. It was fascinating just to see Warsaw and to really experience what took place with what our greatest generation did. I was very proud to be, and even though I had moved out of here to be close to my grandchild, I certainly came back when the opportunity was here to honor Hank. And boy, we do have real life heroes here in this community. We do have it. It was wonderful to be a part of, and how he was recognized. And the news media, I think, did a great job of covering it. And speaking of the news media, you may have recently heard, if you haven't, I'll inform you that coming to a television station near you, you're actually now going to hear what goes on in the courtroom in Cook County. Where they're starting at 26th Street, they'll be spreading out among even to my courthouse, so that the citizens can now see what goes on in the court trial. It's not not Judge Judy. We don't stand up there calling people's names. We don't, what did you, it's nothing like that. And I'm sure the court advocates who've been there can testify to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's run a pretty good ship, I would like to think, for what we have to do and what we have with. But, and I really am in support of it. And I know Judge Evans is also in support of it. It'll be very interesting for you to see some of our highest profiles. And requests have already been coming in, so expect to see this coming soon about a trial occurring in Cook County. Okay, you're not going to see the old Perry Mason with the last minute evidence coming out or this or that. But what you are going to see is what this country is all about. Yeah, I empathize with those people, those parents, but I also swore, unlike the governor, I raised my right hand when I swore to him. And I swore that I would uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. And this gentleman had a right to do what he was doing. Maybe we all know what was going on. Maybe we think we all know. But the fact remains, unless you're in the courthouse every day and in courtroom listening to every bit of evidence, all you heard was somebody's reported it. And I'm going to tell you that I'm very proud of the fact that you're now going to be able to see what goes on and not have to go to the courthouse to see it. I'm also going to encourage that this court advocacy program, if you want to get involved in something, you want to know if it makes a difference, every one of those 9 motions that I heard, there were representatives from the Tribune, the Sun-Times, the South County Commons, all these, I'm used to that. What really impressed me was when all the kids from the school, the families, everybody showed up to every continuance hearing. That impressed me. That told me something. That means a lot, because we're human beings too. Okay, we swore to uphold the law, we do our best, but boy, when the community is there telling us, we live there, we know what's going on, and this is wrong, we listen. We do listen. And I'm very proud of the fact that that still is going on, and that you have this wonderful civic organization that takes such great pride in doing that. And a safety officer following certain cases that go on in this community, that's just marvelous. That's just marvelous to do. And very fortunate to have that. And if you're going to get involved in those committees. Not that any of them, other committees aren't important, but boy, it really makes a difference. And I really hope that you take that opportunity to get involved, because sometimes as you're going to learn if you watch the television programs regarding TV trials, sometimes it's very boring. You're sitting around waiting, you don't know what's going on. I hear that all the time from juries when we have jury. What were they talking about back there? What are they going, what are they trying to hide? Well, we're not trying to hide anything. What we're trying to do is, quote, follow the law. There's certain rules and restrictions that jurors can only hear certain types of evidence. And we know before that trial happens just about every word that's going to be said. But it's up to the jury to make that determination. We don't want to make sure they hear the wrong stuff and give an opportunity for a mistrial. Our courts are busy enough, and appellate courts and the Supreme Court are busy enough. But we try to do our best in providing that opportunity so that each and every defendant, and when we were in Poland, it was amazing how they were so fascinated. They, as bad as they say everything is here, they want to know how we do everything. They want to follow us. Because I'm not here to tell you, boy, we got the perfect system. We don't. We do not have the perfect system. But I'll argue with you if you think you've found some other system in another country that's better. Because you're going to want those rights, if it's one of your own, to be protected. You're going to want the officer, the judge, to follow the law. If one of your own breaks the law and is convicted by the same rules that everyone else is supposed to be following, that's all I can ask for. Like I tell my wife when I come home, how's your day? Well, 50% of the people think I'm a genius. They won't. The other 50% think I'm the dumbest guy in the room because they lost. And that's a great day. Sometimes 75-25. Because the ones who won say, boy, we should have got more, or we should have done this. But that's a good day for me when that happens. And I really do enjoy that. You have a wonderful, wonderful representative here, Alderman Burke. It wasn't for him back in 1992 encouraging me to do what I did, and his support, I'd never had these wonderful opportunities to guide at Bridgeview Courthouse. As I indicated, I have 25 judges. We have 39 different suburbs that I am responsible for giving court dates for, all the way from Lamont on the southeast corner, all the way to Evergreen Park, Orland Park, all the way up to LaGrange Park even is by us, and Countryside. There's a total of 44 government agencies total that I'm responsible for giving out court dates, making sure things run smooth, and it's quite a chore to make sure that everybody has their equal time to present their cases to the judges that are allocated for that. And it's only one district. There's 5 more suburban districts just like that, plus the city of Chicago. So there's quite a bit of business out there. Unfortunately, I'm in a growth industry. There's never running out of court cases, never. And that's unfortunate. I don't know what the answer is in our society. I do know that somebody was asking me earlier, you were from here, yes. Did I move? Yes. And I says, I moved. My wife is from Taylor Street. I was from Brighton Park. We built a house here on Drake Avenue, stayed there. When I was 60 years old, I moved out of the city for the first time in my life. And I did it for one reason, my grandson. That's the main reason. Because I still believe that my responsibility is to my family. I still believe that I have a direct input into that family's growth. I don't care if my daughter's 32 years old. I don't care if my son-in-law is 36 years old. I do care that I will set an example for my grandson, for my son-in-law, and for my daughter. And I hope I did that when I was a parent for my daughter. And I know I did. I could tell by the way she handles her child. But she goes to work every day. My wife and the other grandmother watches. But those are our beliefs. They're not everybody's. I understand not everybody can do that. But I'm not going to lay on somebody else the job that I think we as a society can do for ourselves. And if anybody knows me, they know one thing. I love my family first. I love my God and I love my country. And those are the things I follow every day when I go on the bench. I commend all of you who are officers and members, because without the membership, this doesn't work. And the leaders would be the first ones to tell you. It's a great civic organization. I'm very proud. Tom asked me to come back here. I was looking forward to this. As a matter of fact, when he called me today, I told him 7:30 at the Ono School. I'm excited to be here. It's the first time I've been in the school. I watched it go up when I was living there. I'd never been in here. It's very nice. But if you believe in anything, please believe me when I tell you that have there been bad judges? Yeah, there's been bad judges. I'm on what's called the executive committee, one of 16 people that sit and make decisions when things are brought to the judges or judicial executive committee's attention about judges' behaviors. I don't know of a profession, religious, public, private, that doesn't have people that don't perform the way they should perform. But I was proud to be a member of this committee that made certain recommendations regarding judges' behaviors and where they should or shouldn't be, in preventing them from doing any more harm to what we felt could be done to the citizens. And eventually, the judge was removed from office by the Supreme Court. It's hard to do. It's hard to do that. raise your right hand and you believe in the country and you believe in your family and you believe in your God, somehow you're going to make the right decision. By the way, I still believe in the neighborhood too. So, and I'll be proud to do the introduction for induction for later.
Thank you, Judge Jagielski, for that great presentation. While the judge is getting his official judicial robes on, because this is going to be a real official installation. Stan, would you like to conduct the election? Conduct the election.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. Normally the election is conducted by a past president, but since we don't have any older past presidents here, Stan's our past president, he's going to take care of it.
Do we have any process?
Right there. Then don't forget Phil's items.
At this time, I'd like to have the nomination put in for the office of President of the Civic Association. And the name given to us is Thomas Maliga. There's a second for that. A second been made for Thomas Maliga by Kathy Esposito. Is there any objections to that? If not, name.
Any objections?
Had I known that I was going to do this, I would have prepared someone up in the audience. Otherwise, we have to go through all these names. Is there anyone here who would like to run for an office in the Civic Association for next year? Is there anyone here who would like to run for an office for next year, other than the slate that we've got? Is there anyone else that would like to run for an office? If not, will someone make a motion that we accept the slate as given? Rita Harrison makes a motion that we accept the slate as given, seconded by George Vescovi. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Will all of the members who are on the slate please come forward?
Who's on the slate?
Yeah, you're going to read the slate up.
We don't know who the slate is.
Okay, the slate is myself as president, Stan Lahasset as executive director, first vice president Michael Kovac, second vice president Andrew Esposito, treasurer William Tavidas, recording secretary Francis Prince, corresponding secretary, she's not here today, Lillian Montez de Oca, and sergeant at arms Steve Martinez.
Yeah, Steve, why don't you go to the other end?
This thing?
All the way to down. To the other end.
Hold on.
And then the sergeant. And next one's what? She wants to skip over.
No, we'll just read it off.
Okay.
And the treasurer, Bill.
Bill Tavidas.
Francis. And Mike, Andrew. Mike and Andrew. Stan. And Tom. Switch.
Oh, is he going to do the second vice president first?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Oh, that's right.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Ready.
Okay. By virtue of the authority entrusted into me, I will now, with the help of the membership, induct you into your respective offices. Are you willing to take upon yourself a solemn oath or obligation of your office? And if so, please specify by resounding yes.
Yes.
Okay, everybody saying yes. Very well, I will now ask you to raise your right hands. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, our new governor who was sworn in by a federal judge, not a state judge, was sworn in raising his left hand. Seems kind of odd, him being a Republican, you don't even know. But anyway, I regress.
They don't get inaugurated that often.
In the presence of Almighty God and the members here assembled, I state your name, do solemnly promise and pledge that I will discharge the duties of my office and to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God. I will now instruct you, put your arms on, into your duties. Stephen Martinez. It is your duty to attend to the doors, help the president in maintaining good decorum amongst the members, and see that all members, guests, and speakers are properly registered in the registration sheets provided by the association. Corresponding secretary who isn't here, Lillian Montez de Oca. To you goes the responsibility of handling all general correspondence of the association. It will be your duty to type any outgoing letters and to assist in publishing the monthly newsletter, as well as informing the members at all meetings of the correspondence handled by the association. Treasurer William Tomas. The office of treasurer is one of high trust. You are the custodian of the funds. Collect all monies due and pay all legal bills tendered the association. It will be your duty to keep an accurate record of these funds and report thereon at each regular and board of directors meetings. You will submit the books to a thorough audit once each year at the end of your term of office. Francis Prince. It will be your duty as the recording secretary to maintain and incorporate in permanent form a true record of the proceedings during the course of each general meeting, board of directors meeting, or any special meetings of the association. Such minutes must be available at the following meeting for approval by the membership. You will provide the chair with a copy of the minutes and record all of the accepted motions to be acted upon. Vice Presidents Michael Kovac and Andrew Esposito. The office of Vice President is an important post. It will be your duty to preside in the absences of the President. As standby President, you must be fully versed in the duties of the presidency. Your valued experience and conscientious effort will be an aid to the President when he calls upon you to promote the ideals of the association and those duties assigned to you. Executive Director Stan Lahasa. It shall be the duty of the Executive Director to coordinate and prepare for the Board of Directors all business that has not been assigned and see that all instructions are carried out. You are the primary counsel to the President and as such are expected to recommend plans of work. You are to act as a liaison between the Board of Directors, officers, and members. Above all, as a person chosen because of your previous experience in the association, you are to assure business as usual during changes of administration. Members, let me remind you that this is your opportunity to pledge to the newly elected officers your wholehearted support and earnest assistance. In electing these officers, you have carried out only a small part of your task. The real success of this organization is in cooperating with your elected officials, becoming actively involved, heeding and responding to calls for help, volunteering where needed, and thus carrying out your share of responsibility which is given to you. And to the President, to you, the incoming President, the association looks for your wise guidance and leadership throughout the year. We have given you the highest honor which we can bestow. Your acceptance of this responsibility is indicative of your willingness to serve. We have every confidence in your ability to guide us with strength and purpose. I hereby declare you installed and wish you every success in the year ahead. I will now present you, if you'll step forward, with the association property, corporate seal, and the gavel of your office. Wield it wisely and with prudence. Mr. President, you may now sound the gavel to resume the meeting and conduct it in due form. Congratulations to everybody, including the members.
Take pictures.
Do you want to just want one picture with the judge?
Okay.
Where do you want me to be? I want to be next to the Always makes me look.
2, 3. And the next, 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha.
Good.
Excellent.
Everybody good?
Yes. Good to work. Thank you, Judge.
Very, very nice.
Good, yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, as the judge says, we sound the gavel. We are back in session. I want to express my sincere thanks to the officers that have consented to serve again for another year with our Civic Association. We got a great group of people here, and it is only through the efforts of our officers, our board members, our committee members, everybody that goes all the way down to stuffing the envelopes and stuff. That's what makes the Civic group a success. We got all these people that volunteer. That's fantastic. You heard the judge talk about that as far as how great it is to have people involved in their community. And we're going to be looking forward to 2015 to expand our memberships more and hopefully get more members involved in various committees. So as I mentioned in our, I sent it in the letter to the board members, I think it was in the newsletter. We did receive a nice $200 donation last year to be used for various things from one of the companies in the Crawford industrial area. And we're going to allocate $100 out of that to do our walkabout program, which is where Mike and I, we pick out a block at random in the community, and we walk up and down and grant people that are not members a free one-year membership because this has been paid for by somebody else. So we got about $150 in that pot to do that, so Mike and I are looking forward to doing it. Last year when we did the 4,500 block of Kedvale, in 2 hours we picked up 10 new members. And the best thing out of that, aside from increasing our membership, is that when these people talk to us, some of them have just been here for like 1, 2, or 3 years, they all have the same ideals that we have. They want Archer Heights to be a safe, sound community. That was very heartening when we met those people. And they were just looking for somebody to talk to them, to invite them as a member. They knew about our Civic Association. So I've saturated several of the blocks in the neighborhood with newsletters. Every month, we always have like about 200 extra newsletters printed. I personally hand deliver those to homes that are not members. That's part of my cardio workout. And I tell you, sometimes you do sweat. But it's an effort to get our name out there to people so they know somebody is watching out for the community that's independent of any political or religious organization. I was telling Mike earlier that I had to go take care of some transactions from St. Bruno's and that's St. Richard's. So I'm the finance committee chairman at St. Richard's. So I was at PNC Bank this afternoon and talked with some of their officers, and they are just tickled pink that there is a independent civic group with 800 addresses that are members that are doing things for the community. They read our newsletter all the time. They say it's fantastic what you guys are doing, especially following up on like the building and zoning violations, the court advocacy program, following up on crime, getting people active in their blocks. So we're out there. So we're going to look forward to expanding that for 2015. That being said, yes, Sam?
I just want to, Tom, I don't know if I gave you this information. Since that first woman gave us $100 to go through that first block,
Right.
Since that time, we have collected $250 for that. So I'm giving the money to the treasurer, but she doesn't keep it separate. I'm the one that keeps it separate.
All right, good.
You got $250 more for that.
Excellent, excellent.
We're going to be busy.
We are going to be busy.
We're going to heal pretty quick.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's great to see that. I'm glad you're keeping track of that, because I was trying to keep track of it, but that's terrific. So we're going to have 25 new members we'll be able to add. That's fantastic. All right. Is there any other new business that needs to be brought up? If not, the chair entertains a motion to adjourn. Made by Brian Civic, seconded by Linda Kemp. All those, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, let's hold that. We've got 3 door prizes. For everybody that came out here on this Bobby night.
What's the number? 5.
Mike, can you grab that bag? The door prizes we have today are a $50 gift certificate to 115 Bourbon Street for, karting, wheels, whatever you want to do. And from the Old Cedar Company.
No drinking and driving.
That's right. Always have a designated driver. We still have two, they call them the Batman dustpans that were donated by the Old Cedar. So when we call your name, you got your choice of one of these three things. We'll have three items. And how we work this is when you sign in on the sign-up sheet, you assign a number to that at random. You've got a disc in the box that corresponds to that. Let's have Judge Jagielski draw the first one. Okay, the first one.
Number 6.
Number 6. Who's on 6?
Juanita Beltran.
Juanita Beltran.
That, she can spend that with the $1,000 she won last month.
Do you take a lot of Juanita? If you don't, you should.
Juanita, what would you like?
Take that dustpan.
All right, Juanita takes the gift certificate. Congratulations.
Number 12.
Number 12.
Kathy Esposito.
Kathy Esposito.
Drinking coffee. That's perfect for her. I'll give it to you to put to work.
And the last one.
Number 14.
14.
Cheryl Tonitis.
Cheryl Tonitis.
What's my choice?
You got this.
I wanted that. I was only kidding. I'm so excited.
Those dustpans are not out on the market yet, so. Cheryl?
Yes?
Those dustpans are not out on the market, so you gotta collect them.
Oh, okay.
They are not released to the public yet. All right, now we have the first and second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you all very much for coming out. It was a great evening.
Special winner.
Please join us for cake and coffee.
It's all DK.
So, Tom, tell me a little bit about the situation at 47th and Knox.
47th and Knox is a unfortunate situation in that we had a business there that was really slopping up that corner. I mean, we had extremely dilapidated fences, trees growing through the fences. They had pallets stacked up against the fence, trucks. There was actually an illegal truck repair operation going on there. In fact, it was a little over a year ago that we had a major fire there. They had brought out at least 20 pieces of Chicago Fire equipment because they were concerned about some solvents that were on the premises. So we've gotten a lot of complaints from the people at 47 and Knox, and we turned that location into the Department of Buildings and Zoning, and now we're pursuing them through the court system to get things cleaned up.
So it's looking good at this point?
It's looking a heck of a lot better than what it did before. We have no truck repair operation there anymore. That is completely gone. The owner has hired a new permit expediter, and he's expressed interest in working with the community to get things resolved. Now, the only thing we're asking for is to make sure that it's not a bad operation, it doesn't slop up the community. We want them to take notice of what the surrounding community looks like and maintain their property up to community standards.
Gotcha. Tell me a little bit about the association's goals for this year.
For 2015, we're going to be looking at actually beefing up our Building and Zoning Committee, and we're going to start pursuing several more factories, businesses, even residential homes where there's illegal code violations that have been called to our attention. One of the sore spots in our community is the Sportsman's Inn on 45th and Cicero. They have been remodeling it for 3 years. They've got scaffolding and green tarps or whatever it is up above that. It's a horrible eyesore on Cicero Avenue. That's going to be targeted
I
very
just
soon.
want to come to the next meeting. When's the next meeting?
It will be the second Wednesday of February, and interestingly, it's going to be our candidates night. So we are inviting the candidates for the 22nd Ward, 23rd Ward, and 14th. We're not doing anything with that because Alderman Burke is running unopposed. And we also have the mayoral candidates invited. So we'll see who's going to be coming out.